Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sandbox.Space weekly podcast. This is episode 21, lucky 21. I am your host, Chris, joined by Baby, who's over there making noise. I don't know why. Pumpkin, and of course, every week we have a special guest. This week's special guest is Hamill of Multivarious, our lead artist and partner, among other things. How are you doing this morning, Katie?
I'm here. I'm great. Fantastic. I'm tired, but I'm here.
That's good. Yeah, I slept terribly last night, so we're gonna push through this and make it happen.
Brought to you by Diet Coke.
Oh, geez. Someone might have a problem.
I need a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. Don't we all? All right, so this week we've got some interesting things, but because you are an artist, I'm going to try to talk about some art stuff. But we've got a bunch of interesting things. But before we do that, I want to remind folks about GDEX, the lovely GDEX Expo, which is coming up in October. So www.thegdexgdex.com. We're going to be posting over the next few weeks a bunch of information, some more exhibitors. We're getting some speakers figured out. Volunteer applications are up. So make sure you bookmark that page. You can also follow us on social media at the GDEX. Don't forget the, it's important. And then just some behind the scenes stuff, because I know people like to hear our behind the scenes conversations, but we are working on moving our event to a new event platform. So we've been kind of internally looking at some options. We moved away from the event platform we used last year for a variety of reasons, but the main reason is since COVID, they didn't do any payouts until after the event was done, which you can imagine makes it very difficult to run an event when you don't get any money until the event is over. So yeah, having to pay for the space, all the booths,
money.
Yeah, all the advertisements. It made it very difficult to actually afford stuff. And so we are looking at a new platform, but we have a couple that I've done demos of that I'm pretty excited about. So when we get those going, right now you can still buy tickets and everything. When we switch platforms, we'll just migrate everything over to that. So it's no worries. But yeah, we've still got, I forget, 180 something days, 183 days until GDEX, which is plenty of time, but
anything farther than a week away just doesn't exist to me. So
yeah, I live my life in two separate spaces, which is like what is happening right in front of me this given second, and then thinking like 6 to 9 months in the future. I'm never in between this. I'm either focusing on what I'm doing now or what is going on in like GDEX time. GDEX has consumed my life. For a gaming expo that we pulled out of our ass as just like a small event, it now occupies a significant amount of my brain space.
That's fair.
But it's all good.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so the Artist Alley space is actually, this is something we can start talking about. We're almost sold out. I haven't, I guess I can check real fast just for fun while we're here. It sounds like they're doing landscaping outside, so I apologize if it's making noise. But yeah, Katie, what are your thoughts on that? Our Artist Alley spaces looks like they're going to be the first ones to get sold out this year.
I mean, that's always pretty cool. Yeah, literally, I think last we checked, we were full except like 1 or 2 spots. So I don't know. I was kind of exciting, especially with, I don't know, is it Drama Stream? Is it T Stream? With the Origins GDEX drama last year, I wasn't sure what people were going to be feeling this year. So I was pleasantly surprised to see people even more excited this year to jump on. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
I think
bring all my money to come throw at all the artists anyway. So the more artists that are there, the more money I have to throw at people. Nice. Or the more people I have. I don't know. It's before noon, so my brain's only working at like 50% right now. But
I got up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock yesterday.
I didn't go to sleep.
Nice. So yeah, we only have four artist market tables left, and that doesn't count the people that have been approved but just haven't bought their booth yet. And we've got 15 ice spaces left, so those are getting tight as well. So that's good.
Yeah,
That's
get some
that's
cool
exciting.
artist panels, cool artist alley.
hmm And then, like I said, we're trying to get. Oh my gosh, I lost too many windows. Too many. There we go. And yeah, we're starting to get some speakers and stuff. So I'm excited about it. I feel like we're in a good space. I think this is going to be a good year for GDEX. We're going to be much larger than last year's floor space wise. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can fill up all that space. Um, so yeah, let's close this window and let's talk about some stuff.
I'm coming back.
Uh, one of our people in the audience says that they wish they was able to go to GDEX's. I wish you were too. Um, we would love to have you. So this is our first article. This is kind of interesting. I gotta do this. I gotta grab. How does words
Yeah, every
work?
year I think it'd be cool to stream some more stuff, but the internet there's always kind of like whatever you can bring on your cell phone and get to connect.
hmm
But maybe we can test it out before the con and get some rooms set up for stream.
yeah, I'm always trying to get a, sponsor to help us with internet costs because those are the um, one of the most expensive parts. Like a ridiculous expensive. Like it's just it's literally. I know everybody says everything's a ripoff, but like the
Well,
internet
they nail you
costs.
where they can nail you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really gross to be honest. Like it's what they charge you for what you get is I think really disgusting. But I don't run that company, and that's just my 2 cents on it. Um, so I thought this was interesting. This is from PC Gamer. Wes Fenlon is the author. It says, marketing is dead, and I can back this shit up. Baldur's Gate 3 publishing director says players just want to be spoken to, and they don't want to be bamboozled. Um, so during Boulder Gate 3's trip around the world circuit, winning every major game of the world trophy there is, this is a very like it seems like Wes Fenlon has a very specific feelings on Baldur's Gate 3, but the developers at Larian have taken some of the stage time to criticize corporate greed and mass layoffs in the wake of its massively successful self-published game. Larian hasn't been shy about pointing the finger at what it sees changing and going wrong in the games industry. Larian publishing director Michael Dowse brought the same energy to his recent PC Gamer Roundtable interview, confidently saying, "Marketing is dead." Katie, is that true? Is marketing dead? Are we what are we missing? What are we thinking?
Oh my God. I don't think marketing like advertising? That'll never be dead. You know how much money people dump into advertising?
hmm Yes, it is a big thing.
I
I,
mean,
I
I don't know. I think marketing is a broad thing to say is
yeah,
dead.
what I think they're getting at, because this is based off this actual players don't want to be marketed to, don't want to feel bamboozled, blah blah blah.
Nobody
Uh,
wants to be marketed and advertised to, but you're gonna be. And my God, if Facebook has not nailed exactly who I am, and I'm just saying,
oh
some
yeah, I think it's really more about that for me marketing. So like we market GDEX, right? Like what we're trying to do is just get people even knowing about GDEX.
yeah.
Like how do they even know that it exists and that we're a thing and whatever. Um, I think the kind of marketing though that they're talking about, and I could be wrong here, and you see this a lot in the gaming space, is just like that sort of patronizing, just they're just totally obviously playing to you to, you know, get you interested or excited, but it's always like the lamest stuff. Um, it's like a Michael Bay movie trailer or something, and it's like, look how cool this game is, and you're like, the game's not that cool. That's one of the things about I think gaming culture that I think is kind of fun is generally we're pretty good about knowing um, when people are sort of playing us. Um,
Yeah.
but we do need, particularly in the game space, with so much competition these days. I mean, you do need a way to get out there. Um,
You know what's
and it good.
funny is the game ads I get all the time because I'm on Facebook are all for like these mobile games, and it's completely different. Where games like AAA games like over deliver, they're like this is going to be awesome, and they like promise so much. Mobile games throw that out the window. Every single mobile game ad, regardless of what the game is some like orphaned child starving in a room somewhere that's on fire, and it's like save them, yes, no, and it could
Oh
be like
God, yeah.
an AFK like coin game, and it's just
I see a lot of those
all of
where
them.
there's I see a lot of those where there's like it's those like math games where you add it's like the soldier plus the soldier is greater than, and there's like the woman that turns into a monster and eats the knight
I
or
know what
whatever.
ad you're talking about. Yeah.
And then of course I see a lot of those like where they're just it's like an endless runner, but you're trying to collect power ups, and it's all fake. Like that's none of that stuff's even in the game they're advertising, which I think is even worse. Because I see that like on Facebook, like uh, there's supposed to be standards for like false advertising and on Facebook. I mean, what they're showing isn't even the game. You want to know the worst one? I saw one of those. This was on, I think, Instagram, and it was literally the same video that I had seen on Facebook of like one of those runners and things, but it had somebody who I assume was maybe a YouTuber or something, a streamer, on top of it talking, pretending like they were playing the game, but they
It
obviously
might
weren't
have not
playing.
even been them. It was probably just some
No,
AI generated.
I they just got. I think they just got the video that they'd been using to promote on all these other channels. Or like, here's the video. Talk over it as if you're playing the game. And I
Yeah.
was just like, what is this? Like, how gross and scummy can you
Or I saw
get?
one game advertise, and it was advertising using screenshots and assets from a different game, claiming it
Hmm.
was their game. And everyone in the comments was like, bro, that's not your game. Like,
Oh yeah,
what?
there's asset swap games and stuff. Yeah, I think that building a community, trying to get people excited about your product, is a great way to build that foundation for a game. But the reality is, like Larion, I haven't played Boulder Skate 3. It's on my list whenever I feel like not doing anything else with my life for 200 hours. Um, but they didn't start from scratch. Like they have a history, they have a fan base. They did a 3 year early access because they had the funding. So they were in a particularly beneficial place that allows you to do that. Like most small companies, most indie companies don't, they can't sit around building a community for 3 years. They just don't have the money to do it. And so they're trying to navigate
Just grab
whatever,
an orphan and you've got sale.
just grab an orphan.
Just grab an orphan. That's what all the cool kids are doing these
So,
days.
yes, grab an orphan, the Katie Hamill story. Is that your memoirs?
Maybe don't. Grab a diver. Hey.
Oh, hey, Dipper. Yeah, I've got babies in my lap right now. She's taking little nappers. Hey, how's Dipper doing? Has he lost that puppy energy yet?
No, he's an Aussie. I don't think he ever does.
Mm.
We're still waiting for that lower tooth to come in though.
Oh yeah,
We
here's my baby
realized
girl.
we realized he's 4.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. Baby turned 12 this year.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I know. Um, all right. Well, let's move on. I don't think we're going to solve the advertising problem. I do want to get. I'm trying to get Tom, not our Tom, other Tom, to come on, who has a lot of experience in marketing and game marketing, sometime. But since he has since he
Shh.
has moved
What?
to LA, he's in California. It makes it hard to get up at 7 to do a talk. But you under control there? Oh, do we lose you? Hello? Hello? I think we lost your voice, or at least I lost your voice.
He took the headset and ran. There must be someone outside. He's going crazy.
Okay, well, we're back. All right. The next one. Have you been watching the Fallout television series yet?
I haven't actually. I've been watching Modern Family.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Are you a
I've
fall?
never I've never seen Modern Family, so I've been rewatching that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But um it looks good and it's getting really good reviews.
Have
So
you
I was
played the
probably gonna
Fallout games?
um off and on. It's I don't know. I watched people play more than I ever played. I forget what I was playing when it came out. Well, I know a lot of them have come out, but
Yeah. I mean,
my brothers,
I played the first Fallout, and I think I was, yeah, when that came out, 95 or something, 96.
I don't know. My
Um,
brothers were always really big into it, but I was pretty much
yeah,
Warcraft and Halo. But
yeah. When did Fallout 1 come out? Let's see if I can. There you go. There you go, sweetie. 1997. Okay, cool. So yeah, I would have been 16. Um,
should watch it this
I,
weekend.
I want to get your. I I read this article and I was just like, okay. So here we go. You right?
Okay.
This is from the Outer Haven, Solomon Thompson. Xbox reportedly set sights on Fallout 5 release before 2030. Excitement is building around the Fallout series once again, with a boost from the recent Amazon TV show. The franchise experienced a resurgence of interest. Games like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 have been seen a surge in players. Despite the renewed popularity, new content has been slow to emerge as Bethesda is currently tied up with Elder Scrolls 6, delaying any immediate plans for Fallout 5. Is that even worth like saying we're gonna release a game maybe before 2030? Like that's just like to me that just
Reuse
seems
those assets.
yeah, I just don't even know what um I mean that's 7 years from now, right? Or I guess 6 years from now. Um, which indicates to me they probably haven't even started working on it.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
it
of course
sounds completely like they were waiting to see how the reception of the show did to see if they could bank off of that or not.
yeah, that could totally be it. Is they just were waiting for the show to see how that did, and then of course they need to. Well, I say they need to, but I would argue that I think their design philosophies and their sort of core internal technology just needs a lot of updating. The Bethesda process just needs a lot of work. It's kind of a hot mess right now, and so I don't like if you released a Fallout 5 game, let's just say 2028 will be generous. You release a Fallout 5 game in 2028 that isn't like a huge step up from Fallout 4, like I think they're going to get eviscerated. Do you want to get down,
Would it
sweetheart?
really be a Bethesda game if horses weren't vertically ascending walls? I mean,
I mean that is the thing. And like I remember these games. It's one thing when you're like, okay, these games are like glitchy messes, but they were doing new cool big stuff. But I don't think like Bethesda's doing new cool big stuff, but the games are still glitchy. Like I know a lot of people with Starfield. Uh I didn't play it, but I definitely like maybe I can't help you, sweetheart. Um, but it seems like it's a pretty like kind of like ho hum game ultimately. Uh, so I just don't, if you're gonna release a game that's like a hot mess, then it better also be like friggin' rad, you know?
do it like Stardew Valley. Just release one banger update after nothing for like decades.
Come on, come here, come here, come here. I don't know what you want, sweetie.
Related note.
I related note. Let's play Stardew Valley.
Yeah, actually, I need to update it because I want to play the new update. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious with Microsoft, owning Bethesda. Um,
Go home, Tom.
what is Tom saying? Something? Fallout 5 better
Big
be rad, indeed.
rad
Oh, yeah, I get it.
radiation.
Yep, I get it,
Too
Tom.
soon, Tom. It's too soon.
It's too soon. Um, I don't know. And this is coming from a guy like I loved the Fallout games, but then Fallout 3 I thought was okay, and Fallout 4 um, didn't really wow me. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not the target audience anymore. I don't know. I like the show. I enjoyed the show. It was fun. I
I
just
don't think I
I
was ever their target audience, so
yeah. I think one of the things that, and maybe this is my old man moment here, I suppose, but Fallout was one of those games, like when it came out, particularly Fallout 2, it was like just one of those games where like, oh wow, video games can do really cool stuff. Like there's all this like opportunity to do like unique storytelling and all these cool choices and to have like just cool weapons and creatures and all sorts of stuff. And it seems like the later games have never captured the promise of what Fallout can be. And then they released Fallout 76 and fell flat on their face. And I was just like, ugh, okay, okay. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it turns out, and this may surprise people, but it turns out that gamers do in fact like games with stories and NPCs that are involved in stories, and that player-generated content more often than not sucks ass because other players are often the worst. Um, and so, creating a game that doesn't have like really any story, and you expect like other players to create the stories sounds good in idea, but then you realize like now you just have to deal with like a bunch of 12-year-olds running around trying to teabag each other and it doesn't make for the best storytelling moments.
Unless you're
But
into just PvP and no story.
yeah, and I don't know, does Fallout 76 even have PvP? I don't know if it does.
I have
Uh,
no idea.
um,
If it
yeah,
doesn't, then it's not worth playing.
are, yeah, you like your
I'm
PvP.
on the other end of the spectrum. I don't care if there's story. I'm literally playing a game now, and one of their surveys was like, "Do you read the story, or how do you?" I'm like, literally have not read a single line of dialogue, but I am number two in the arenas right now.
What's the
Got in
game?
for that. AFK Legends. Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's
I want to get
nice.
powerful and crush other human players beneath my feet, and I don't care what story gets me there.
Mm. I generally tend to play single player games mostly. So, yeah, I guess I would be one of the people that are getting crushed under your feet. Um, so I guess along the sort of lines of thought, I'm kind of curious. Like we've seen a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff nowadays. We're seeing a lot of very similar um, narrative kind of ideas, but also, I mean, I guess you can only have so many variants of post-apocalypse from a sort of art perspective, right? Like, uh, what are your feelings on all these post-apocalyptic games and they're like from a visual standpoint and an art standpoint? Is there something else that you wish we'd be moving towards?
Hmm.
Other we haven't seen anything in space in a long time. I'd love to have some space stuff. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I would totally be down for space. I love the apocalypse vibes, like just the aesthetic in general. I really like Walking Dead isn't a game, but comic, like the whole I
there's
don't know,
Walking Dead games.
anything.
Those are the
There
Telltale
are.
ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those ones I definitely played them. I don't know. I like it. I do think I feel like things kind of like ebb and flow in waves though. Like I feel like the apocalypse wave is already kind of over. Um I wish the cyberpunk wave had hit a little harder than it did, but we did get some good like edge runners and the cyberpunk. Like visually I like the cyberpunk aesthetic too. I don't know what'll come next. That's
Yeah.
a little
Uh,
more.
yeah, I
We might
think
go back to apocalypse.
Cyberpunk's always one of those, whatever you want to call it. Like, also, I think like retro futurism kind of fits into that a little bit. It's always one of those things that pops up occasionally, and then you don't hear much of it. Like the new Blade, well, the old Blade Runner, but then also Blade Runner 2049, which when did that come out? Like 2020 or something. Um, that thing was absolutely gorgeous. Like that movie was just
Yeah, I remember that.
beautiful, and like I'm really surprised that it didn't kind of catch on. There aren't any other things. You mentioned Edge Runners, which I think had some really interesting aesthetic choices, which I thought was cool.
It's one of
Cyberpunk,
Mattson's favorite anime. He's got like shirts and posters and everything. He
really.
really, really likes that aesthetic.
I think my favorite recent anime, We're getting kind of off the beaten path here, though, is Arcane, which does have a kind of a little bit of a retro, futury, cyberpunky kind of vibe, a little
I
bit.
like future
Um,
punk, like steampunk, future-esque.
yeah,
Arcane was beautiful though. I mean, yeah, their art was really on point for that. Excuse me.
uh, yeah, totally. But yeah, I would like to. I'm with you. I would love to see some more like future punky things. I tend to be. I'm not the biggest anime fan in general, but I did enjoy Edge Runners. I thought it was fine. But I would just like to see more. I feel like I guess I play. Playing Final Fantasy VII has that sort of steampunky vibe, and there's a lot of like really interesting environments and stuff in that. So that was a pretty cool game to play. Um,
Yeah.
at least we're out of the green, like gray brown grungy third person shooter world that we used to be in forever in the mid 2000s. For like a
Yeah.
decade, everything looked the same.
You mentioned exploring. I think that might be the kind of story I like. I don't like reading a lot of dialogue, I find tedious, so I usually just hit skip. But games like Journey or the mobile game like Sky, where there's no text at all, it's just exploring.
Hmm.
I really like games like that. So I would say like of the games where, there are more story driven, I like when you can just kind of visually just dig around and walk around. So I'll skip
Okay.
all this dialogue, but I'm going to look at all the pretty flowers on my way there. So,
Okay. So you more visual and environmental storytelling.
yeah.
Which, I mean, tying back to Fallout, like that's kind of what the original Fallouts
Yeah.
were. Like you'd be going to these areas and there wouldn't be NPCs sitting around telling you stuff. You'd just kind of have to infer things by what you could see. And I think they lost a lot of that when they went to 3D. Like the Fallout 4 map is gigantic, but it's boring to explore because there's just nothing there. And every
Yeah.
so often you come across something, um, which is where I thought Outer Worlds, which is one of my favorite games when that came out, which is made by some ex Fallout people. Um, that's where I think did it really well. It has that sort of futury, steampunky kind of thing, but each area, it's not a big open world. It's like each area is its own little planet, and so they were able to kind of condense it so that each little pocket of the world generally has
Yeah.
something interesting going on in it. Um,
It doesn't have to be huge. I think huge just for huge sake is kind of boring,
yeah,
You've got
well,
to
that I mean that's another
have
thing. Like,
interesting stuff.
yeah, I mean when I was growing up, again, a lot of this started with GTA 3. It's just like after GTA 3's open world, every game that came out needed to be open world, and it was all trying to be bigger than the previous map before it. So like Vice City was twice the size of GTA 3, and then San Andreas was like twice the size of Vice City, and you know it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually people are like, okay, cool, but like there's nothing going on here. Like it's not interesting to explore. It's not interesting to look at. Um, and so yeah, I think being a little constrained with your map, uh, judicious use of a map, I guess we'll say, uh, can be very very important. Um, I don't know. I guess also, as I get older, my time availability decreases. So the idea of getting lost in like this gigantic map just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I'd rather have there be like interesting things, but I don't want to go and do like the Ubisoft style map open worlds where it's just a whole bunch of the same crap all over and I'm just checking things off a list, you know?
Can I recommend AFK Journey? No, I'm sorry. Sponsor.
Yeah, please, anybody sponsor us. Um, I have no idea what that game is. I've never played it, but
Don't. It's a gotcha game. It wants your money and your soul, your time.
okay. I will not do that then. All right, next article for the week. Xbox Series X and S sales fall as Microsoft shifts to multi-platform releases. This is from Gaming Bible. Richard Lee Brenson is the author. No matter the business, it's always about making as much money as possible, blah, blah, blah. Recently, Microsoft came to a surprising decision to release four of its console exclusives on rival platforms, which were later revealed to be Sea of Thieves, High Rush, Grounded, and Pentiment. And gamers will no doubt hope to see more first party Xbox titles on PlayStation and perhaps the Nintendo Switch. So, are we moving towards a world without Microsoft consoles? I think you're predominantly a PC gamer, right?
PC Master Race. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly at this point, percentage wise, I might be a mobile gamer.
Yeah,
I don't know though. Overwatch still has me in a death grip. Um, I don't know. I think convenience wise, I like the PC because it's there. It's easy to stream from. It's easy to take around. I can see like why people like their consoles though, because it is kind of like a detachment from everything, and it's like, your controller and your setup, and it's like more of like a gaming world as opposed to computer.
yeah,
Um, but the reality is like consoles are just computers. I mean, I don't know. I think logically it would make sense for eventually everything just to be on computers, but I don't
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I
know.
don't know. I know Sony's been moving towards putting more titles onto PC. So you're seeing some of the Sony exclusives that you would not normally see are moving over there. Um, and I guess with Xbox, I don't know if this article lists any sales numbers here. I don't think it does.
I feel like almost all games now are on both anyway. The question is, I guess, how much longer is it going to be viable to still make consoles? I think things like the Switch and stuff will probably always have a need because they're like fun portable and much more portable than like a laptop lugging around. Like you can take them
Hmm.
places that you can't take a console or a laptop, but like even if you like a controller, you can just hook it up to your computer. So I don't know.
Sure, I
I
like
think what I
that. I
don't
mean,
like is all the not having physical copies of things and then they're just wiping them off of like marketplaces and things like when games just go away and they're just like, "Oh, you bought that, too bad." And
yeah,
it's kind of concerning. I've got a lot
totally.
of money in Sims that if I should probably download all of that because if anything ever happens to the EA store, it's a lot of Sims expansions gone.
Yeah, that is a big problem, I think, with sort of just the history of games as well. Is like there's just some games you can't play anymore. Um, Including, I
Yeah.
think they were talking about how Fallout 3 is pretty challenging to play nowadays on new systems to get it to work properly. Um, yeah, there was an interesting article I saw a couple days ago about how Japan, there's this big resurgence in Japan for music CDs because they're just not adopting streaming music the way the US is. Um, and a lot of it's because they like the idea of having their music in high quality when they want it.
Yeah.
And knowing that it can't be removed from your Spotify account or whatever. And yeah, I feel the same way. I'm probably a 50-50 purchaser video game wise of physical to digital these days, I think. Um, like I just bought FF7 Rebirth digitally, but I did that sort of spur of the moment when I came home drunk one night. Um, but was that?
Starly
Yeah.
joined chat. Hi.
Oh. Uh, but also you're right. Like there's no guarantee when you spend your money on a digital product that you'll be able to keep it for any amount of time, really. Um,
Or even worse, especially with the online games, even if you have that copy, they could just shut down the servers. Like
sure.
multiplayer games aren't going to have their servers online forever. So, at some point that game will no longer be playable. I mean, it could be in 10 years, 50 years, but
Hmm.
when I'm in a retirement home, I want to be gunning people down in Overwatch. So Blizzard better keep those servers up.
Hmm.
But
Are
they
you still on Overwatch 1 or 2?
Oh, Overwatch 1 became Overwatch 2. It wasn't
Okay.
an expansion or a sequel. It was like Overwatch 1.5 if we're
Wasn't it
being
supposed?
generous.
Wasn't two supposed to be like its own thing, and
It
then
was supposed
did
to be so many things,
did it
and it
just
was
end up
none of them.
absorbing one because one was still more popular than two?
Well, one updated to two. Like there was no here's one and here's two. It was here's Overwatch 1, install your update. Congratulations, here's Overwatch 2. Now give us $15 for your PvE that we promised you and you
Yeah, I
done.
played. I think I played a little bit of Overwatch one. Um, I was pretty good with the what's it, Reinhardt? Is he the guy with the shield, the tank? I was pretty good with him, mostly because nobody ever wanted to be a tank, so I just ended up being a tank, which got me into games quicker, so that was fine. And then I think I played two once or twice, and I was like, I think I'm good. Um, yeah, but yeah, I do think that there's just a reality in the video game space that if you, particularly multiplayer games, like Katie, you're gonna have to go through your stages of grief someday when Overwatch goes away because it's not going to be there when you're in
Gonna
a
have to
retirement
go out
community.
into the world with never mind. I'm
You can
just
go
gonna
out.
stop.
I think by the time you're in a retirement community, it'd be okay if you went out into the real world.
I meant with like weapons,
Oh,
PvP on the
well,
real people.
we
I'm a
may end up.
Moira main, and I'm not really sure how to translate that into real life other than like smacking people with dodgeballs. So
Well, the end
anyway,
times may be here sooner than we think, so we might have. You might need to put those Mad Max skills to use before you know it. Um,
that's the kind of apocalypse I like. Mad Max was perfect. There is just something about just they didn't even need a story, just a bunch of fast cars trying to kill each other. It's beautiful. That is my cup of
The
tea.
Tracy Chapman, as they call it.
Freaking
Um,
love it. Same thing with like Pacific Rim was perfect sci-fi. Like I don't need to know why this giant robot's fighting this monster. I just want to see it. Beautiful.
sure. I think I would prefer. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say I'd prefer Mad Max to Pacific Rim. Yeah, probably. I think the idea of having giant monsters around that might step on you just in your
I
day to
want to
day
be a
goings on.
pilot. If we ever are in a situation where they need humans to pilot giant robots, I'm gonna be first in line. Be like, put me in, coach. I don't know why Shinji didn't want to get into the robot.
Hmm. Yeah. I was gonna say like, don't you have vertigo slash migraines? I think being a giant kaiju fighter might be a little bit of a challenge for you, but whatever.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I don't
It's
have
worth it.
vertigo, but I do have migraines, so I could stand upright. It's just gonna suck.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, you're getting punched in the head, so you're probably gonna end up with migraines either way, I suppose. Um, on that note, uh, we have our few more minutes here, about 10 more minutes or so, and I want to talk about what everyone's always talking about these days, which is AI art.
Oh
So,
boy.
as an artist, I'm sure you have some thoughts on it, but also um, I've seen within the past like couple of weeks a lot of people trying to justify it. There's now a term. What is the term? Oops.
The AI artists that are like hashtagging break the pencil. Those people.
No, what is the? I just you probably lost our visual feed because I'm looking up something here. Why am I blanking? Oh, there's it's saying in constructive generative AI. So in essence,
In Photoshop?
they're just saying that these are tools that help people create art assets to be more productive. Which I think they're just trying to find a way to brand it so it doesn't sound as like, "Hey, we're going to come and steal all your jobs." Um, but that's the end result of what's going to happen, right? But maybe I'm
Well,
wrong.
not necessarily.
What do you think? What do you think?
Oh boy.
Are they coming right
Well,
for us?
ironically, I think I could open this with I was reading an article actually from a art director at a movie company or something. I think it might have been in Disney or somewhere like that. But they got a bunch of new little AI artists, concept artists in their pack to try out, right? And he's like, first round of prompts went okay. They're pitching stuff, and they got loosely around the prompt, and they'd be like, cool. And then they'd pick out a couple pictures and be like, elaborate on this with specific instructions as concept artists do. Use like, cool, that, now narrow it down. And this is where AI hits a wall because it just keeps randomly generating things, variations. You cannot really go in and make very specific adjustments to things, especially if you yourself are not an artist. You cannot go in and correct things. So he's like, a lot of the feedback they were giving these people were, color and lighting adjustments, anatomy adjustments, perspective adjustments, just flat out adjustments, and they couldn't do it. And they said eventually they reached a point where all these like trial people were coming back with long lists of reasons of why they couldn't do this with any of the software. And he's like, an artist could, but they're not. Their limitations are, I can generate these pretty images, but I can't make them into functional art. So no, I don't think. In the hands of a non-artist, I think AI is just kind of a poor excuse for fast art. I mean, does some of it look pretty? I'll admit, yes. Is it all stolen from somewhere? Yes. Can you tell? Not all the time. I think it's kind of a chaotic mess now. In the hands of someone who is trained as an artist, though, this is where I could see like a more of like an inspiration generator. Now you could argue, well, it's still stealing from other artists, in which case I would say, well, in the same way that, if you're looking for inspiration for a piece and you go to Pinterest and you type in some ideas, you're looking at other things to get inspired. Same thing with AI. If you punch in a prompt and it spits stuff out, you're looking at things to get inspired. It doesn't really matter where they come from as long as you're not taking them as your own, but you can use them as inspiration to narrow them down. So I think as a tool in artist hands, it's helpful, but so many people screaming, but like most artists don't care. They're going to file it away under like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Like a
Well,
resource image thing and not really care. The people who are so up in arms about it are the people who aren't artists who are suddenly like, don't gatekeep my art. And where I personally get mad is they generate a bunch of prompts, print everything out, and they're going to cons with entire booths selling all of this AI generated art. Or they're
mhm.
flooding ArtStation with, 500 anime girl art pack, $15. And the markets are now flooded with AI generated art. And that is where I personally have a problem with it. I do think that's unethical. And I think that's on companies to police it better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll
That
let
that
Hair.
does bring up no, that brings up a couple interesting questions. One of which I just thought about, which is like we probably need to have an AI art policy for GDEX for our artist booths of some kind if we want, because we currently don't have one. So
Well, I don't know if we need to officially have a policy, but I can run art through checks. I
yeah,
can
I mean,
figure out if
we
anybody's
already
selling
have.
AI art.
We already have a curation process, so we look at the booths and we accept people that we think are doing cool stuff. But yeah, still something we're thinking about. I guess let's. So we worked on a project last year. We can't give out the details, obviously, but you were doing the concept arting for a lot of stuff, and I think there was like that sort of fine line where you could use AI generation tools to kind of create a base for something to work off of, or to like give us some images that we could use as like a vibe. I'm a big fan of like vibe reels and vibe boards, uh,
Well, it's
or
kind of
mood
tied into
boards.
Wes's question.
Oh,
Do
I
you
didn't
think
see what.
AI will affect concept art books for games into what I was using?
I didn't see Wes's
Hopefully,
question.
if AI art makes it into concept art books, it is a small portion of the book and it is clearly labeled as like first AI, and it is clearly labeled as we used this to generate the images. But then this is what our artists did with that and took it from there. I would be personally okay with that. Because when we were concepting, where I found it really nifty is like in the blue sky phase of things, where you would normally, to create a mood board for something, go and scour the internet for very specific images and you're picking and pulling together, you can do that in combination with punching in some prompts, and you can get so much data. And nobody has any idea what they want. Having a lot of images to look at and be like, yes, no, no, yes, no, helps me as an artist narrow down what a group of people want visually, like vibe wise. And then
Hmm.
I can take it from there and do my own thing with it. So at that point, it becomes, I guess for me, I view it more as like a collage tool. Like it's not me drawing, it's not anybody drawing, it's not some beautiful piece of work to be like hung in a museum. Look what I did. It's more like this is from the internet, this is other people's shinies, but this is inspiration. And I don't know. Some artists
Okay.
might even have a problem with that, being like, how dare you use others' art for inspiration? But like all artists do. Like whether it's AI or you're looking on Pinterest at other artists' work for
Yeah,
inspiration.
I'm not too concerned about that. And I do like as somebody who, develops products, like there is kind of like this sounds a little harsh, and I don't mean it to be. I feel the same way like about health insurance companies, right? Where it's like if a health insurance company can't compete and be super efficient, then like we shouldn't be giving them money just for that. And I think that when it comes to certain things, like if you're trying to do rapid ideation or concept art, and you can use this collage tool in a day to get you something that an artist might take a week to do by hand, like the end result is you just need stuff to look at for the moment. It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
perfect. It's not going to be in game. And so I think that, that's,
And this is why I
I
think artists that are completely against it, I think don't really get it. And the reality is to stay competitive in the market moving forward, especially if you're moving into like company concepting or stuff like that. I think it is important to stay on top of AI and learn how to use it because an artist with AI knowledge is like the peak of what AI can achieve. A non-artist with AI is just spitting
making
out
cool
shit.
stuff.
But like an artist with that power is what people need.
They're
And I think
unstoppable.
artists are so afraid of like these other people come in like, oh, their pictures are so close to good, but they're still bad. And I'm just like, so you do it, you get the inspiration, you fix it
Yeah.
better.
I also think
Um,
I, I think there's a layer too, and this is, I mean, I'm an artist. I have an art degree. I got a bachelor of fine arts. Like I think there is that sort of kill your baby issue, where a lot of artists view what they make as like these precious little things, and like sometimes we just need to like make shit. Like we just need to get things done, and like you are part of a team, and your responsibility is to help move the project forward in the best way it can. And particularly in the early stages, like you say, the early design, the blue sky stages, we're just looking for like rapid ideation here. We just want to, we're still trying to discover what road we're going to go down. And so everything doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be pretty. Character's got 7 fingers. Okay, we'll roll with it. Um, because we're not
I
trying to
think
make
where
it good.
I was gonna say, I think where bigger problems come in is where like people are just straight up, it's not artists using it for concepting. It is just straight up just games. We don't care how questionably good or bad these assets are. We are
Yeah.
just generating the assets and taking them, and these are our assets.
Yeah, we're just
That is the problem.
templatizing game design and
That is the problem.
yeah. Well, I guess along those lines, let's fast forward 3 to 5 years, and let's say that AI has gotten to a point where it will now create good, high quality assets that are nearly indistinguishable from a artist, whether 2D or 3D artist. Um, do we use that? Do we roll with it? I mean, it's going to create huge efficiencies. Let's say it allows you to cut your art team in half.
People will. I mean, the reality is not going to be whether or not it's ethical. It will happen. I mean, it will. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
already
feel like,
going to replace music. Have you seen the music AI bots? They're insane. I
oh
mean,
yeah, there
generate music that is indistinguishable from
there is
a
a
real
there is a
person. Just
there's a video. I'll spoil a little part of it. I recommend everybody. It's like 10 years old now. It's called "Humans Need Not Apply," and it's talking about the AI generation and things like that. And uh, throughout the entire thing, it's not very long. It's like 8 or 10 minutes. Throughout the entire thing, you're watching animations and you're seeing videos. I think it's like, oh, by the way, the music you've been listening to this entire time is AI generated. And so he just generated AI music to be in the background of his video while he was talking and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Um, no, I'm with you. I think it's funny because I think if you take the Tom, you and me at Multivarious, I think Tom tends to be like the good angel. You're the bad angel, and I'm somewhere in between. But I think you and I are we're aligned on this, which is I think particularly GDC, everybody's talking about AI. I was like, guys, you've lost the AI battle. Like, it's gonna happen. It's coming. Like,
it's here. That's what I think is so
and
funny is people are like,
unless
we
it
gotta
falls on its
stop it.
face.
I'm like, you can't. They're already starting to fix the AI are already starting to fix themselves. That's amazing. I'm one of the weird people who is really ready for AI. Like the sci-fi in me wants to embrace our
I
robotic
just don't want to
overlords.
have
That's
robot
why I say
wars,
thank you to Alexa every time I ask her for something, because I want her to remember that I was nice to her.
Oh,
Um,
I turn all of my like AI things off, but if I do encounter one like Siri every so often, I'll be like, "Thanks, Siri," just because I want it logged in
we're
there.
buds.
Yeah, when Skynet comes in, I want it logged that I at least gave it some preferential, how you doing
I
kind
was
of
one
thing.
of the good ones.
Yeah,
Wes asks, so if AI can be a professional edge, how do we make AI more easily accessible for everyone? Because some services can be expensive. I agree. Unfortunately, they're expensive because generating AI images takes so much processing power that if you're really churning out a lot of images, you're really eating up whatever
yeah.
service it is bandwidth. So, I mean,
I think this is
a lot
something
of them
that'll.
are only like $5 or $10 a month. So, I don't know if
Yeah,
they can get much cheaper than that until
I think this is something that will
internet
work
becomes
itself
cheaper.
out because the promise of AI is that it's cost effective and efficient and it increases productivity. So like the whole nature of its use case, like it's not really creating artwork, it's not doing anything a human can't do, right? It's not creating artwork a
Yeah.
human can't create. So its value add is that it's more efficient and cost effective. So by the very nature of its existence, I think it's just going to become more and more accessible over time. And like you said, Katie, I mean, you can get some of these. Like I think the monthly midsummer, whatever it's called, is $5 or $10 for the basic
Yeah,
plan
I guess
or mid journey,
I
rather.
wouldn't consider it a vital enough resource for it to be a problem now. Any company using it's probably going to buy their own license. What would be more important is for an artist who might have to use AI and a company would still just be to learn how to do art. I mean, what's going to make you better than some rando learning how to AI is the fact that you have the art skills to make those pictures usable.
Mm-hmm. What's going
Um,
to make you more human than a human?
yeah.
Um, yeah, I agree. But I think the AI revolution is more or less here. I don't know what that's going to look like, but
I'm
it's
disappointed it's taking all of the creative jobs instead of the jobs we didn't want to do, though. It was supposed to give us time to be artists, not take the
yep.
art from us.
I every time we talk about this, I bring up there's a documentary called Born Rich. It's been around for like 20, 25 years or something, and it was done by one of the heirs to, I believe, the Johnson and Johnson family, and he's turning like 18 or 21, and when he turns that age, he's going to get like a insane amount of money just by nature of him being born into this family. Um, but there's this section where he interviews his dad. He does this sort of documentary himself. He interviews this dad or his dad, um, and all his dad does is spend time like hanging out with friends and reading and like bettering himself because he has the resources to do that. Like that's supposed to be the promise of the future is that we spend less time working, particularly menial, lame ass job working, so that we can spend time bettering ourselves, educating ourselves, and whatnot. That's supposed to be the promise of the utopian perfect future.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
See, there you go.
not for
Devil on the
anyone
shoulder.
on literally
You're back,
America
Katie.
slowly eliminating its middle class, okay? That future does not exist for anybody that is not already very high middle class or like lower upper class and up. Like not for the rest of us.
Sure.
I'm realistic.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna
Well,
get my
I
cat,
also,
go into my little bomb shelter, and it's gonna be great.
yeah, I also think there's certain things like, I mean, we're going into weird Fallout world here, but like the betterment of yourself does not include buying a bunch of shit. Like the things you can do to better
That's good
yourself
because we're not gonna be able to afford shit. I already
yeah, but
can't
that's what I
buy
said.
my
Like one of the reasons a lot of us are in these financial perils is because we spend way too much money on things we don't need. We spend cars are a big one.
AFK
Like
Journey needs me.
yeah,
Sorry,
but the point is, a lot of the stuff that makes you better, like reading, is practically free.
not
Doing
what I read. No,
well, I
sorry, I'm
mean,
weird.
I guess if you're just going through like your vast collection of OnlyFans shipping, then it might be a little bit more expensive. Um,
That's
but
some things the robots can't take away from us. OnlyFans.
there you go, there you go. Uh, yes, but I think that,
Moving on.
but I do agree. I think that the whole point of it's like sort of the Star Trek in the future is that we have time to really focus on growing ourselves as people. Um, I would hope that it wouldn't be a dystopian future where everybody just becomes drug addicts because nobody has to work or whatever. But um, you know,
We'll be
who
like
knows?
Wally. We'll all just get our little hover chairs and be huge. I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
I'd
I've
take that over being like
I've lost almost
crack
30
cocaine.
pounds in 2 years, and I don't want to do it. I can't do it again. It was a lot
And
of
not
work.
that.
Um, but yeah, I think overall, I would be just fine if like we had like a 4 day weekend and a 3 day work week, and that was just the norm. Sounds
I
good to me.
just need AI to be good enough to take over programmers' jobs. Then I will consider that karma. And after that, I'm happy. I don't even care if they take all the
Well,
art jobs. They just need to take out down the programmers who made them too.
you hear that,
And then
Tom?
I'm
They're coming for you.
not Tom. Tom, you need to make it so you can be the leader of Skynet and take over all the other programmers' jobs. Yeah, I know it's already starting to happen. There was one, I read an article on it somewhere where like an AI literally like fixed itself and they don't know how it did it. Like they don't know why it works. It just kind of did
I
it.
yeah. I mean,
So it's so
we're
cool.
getting to the we're getting to the end of our time here, but I think that is one of the scary things about AI is a lot of the stuff is so black boxed that even the creators aren't quite sure how it all works.
The
And
best part.
yeah, and that's definitely how you get a Skynet. You want to get a Skynet, and that's how you get a Skynet.
I
Um,
do.
all right. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up episode 21 of the Sandbox.Space weekly podcast. Katie, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming and the good conversations. You can watch us every week at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the GDEX's Twitch. Also, don't forget to check out the GDEX at www.thegdex.com. Follow us on social media at the GDEX, and we post these videos every week on the GDEX's YouTube site as well, so you can watch the past videos, or if there's anything interesting that we talked about today, you can check that out. And then also remember, you can join our email list, our weekly email list, so the Sandbox.Space weekly email, and that is at thesandbox.space. It's not just a clever name, where you can sign up for the email address or for the email list, and we will send it out every week. So again, thank you, Katie, for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the audience. On behalf of myself, baby girl here in my lap, and everybody in the community, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Remember to thank your Alexas.